everyone, Greg Cazillo from Cazillo.com. I had a request the other day on how do I make a pure white background in a photo with two lights. And I'm going to show you a little tutorial on how to do that. First though, I wanted to go over equipment that I have set up. I have my D3S set up here on my three-legged thing, jack tripod, with a separate monitor out right here, which you can see or should pop up hopefully there. There it is. And so those two are connected via that HDMI cable. I have my wireless system here that's triggering the strobes, which are White Lightning UZ1600s. I love a mono light because they are single separate units instead of being powered by a separate battery, and overall it's a better experience for me. So if one of those strobes goes down, it's not a problem. I can always just replace it with another one. But if that battery pack goes down, then my whole system is down. So works out better for me, and I like working that way. Then I use these PhotoFlex half dome and light dome softboxes, and this is set up on a boom stand with my background. I actually went over that background setup the other day, and here's a link to that video. My suggestion for when you're working with your strobes is actually to set up one light at a time. Set your exposure with one strobe at a time. If you're new to photography, if you don't can't quite see the light yet and can't quite understand where the light's coming from with different shots, strongly suggest doing one light at a time. So if you're working with ambient and strobe, set your ambient first, get a good ambient exposure, then add that first strobe, then add that second strobe. Now in this particular instance, I actually have two strobes here, and so I'm going to work with my main light first, then I'm going to add my background light, which will make my life a lot easier. I can actually see it and understand what's going on, but if you don't quite get that and you're wondering what's going on, try just turning off all the strobes, turning off all the lights, start out with just one light, and then start adding them back in. It'll make your life easier, and you'll really understand what's going on and how it works. So, first thing that I always do when I'm shooting in the studio is I will shoot a photo of my color checker chart just so that I have it as a reference. So let's go ahead and shoot one of those. Now I'm actually going to shoot both sides of it, which I really don't need to in this particular instance, since the color is actually going to not be in this photo at all. And the reason why it's not going to be in color because my subject has no color. Oops, you know what? I have my background turned on. Let me turn it off for a second here. Anyway, there's no color in there. So why would I leave it as color? I'm just going to make it black and white, and it'll end up being a better photo overall. So shoot one of these with no background light. There we go. Very dark. You can see that I just have that foreground light hitting it. I have a little bit here on the bottom hitting the subject, and then it's falling off and not hitting the background. So let's turn that back on. And now we're going to shoot another photo here with just a little bit of that light. And if we go back and forth, oops, wrong way. We go back and forth, we can see that that background is making a difference, but it's still not quite a full brightness. So it's probably about even right now. All right, so I'm going to increase its power by one stop. And now getting there, that looks a lot better, but I think we need one more in order to make it a lot brighter. Now we're going to be two stops brighter than the foreground, and now we have that nice pure white, which is exactly what you're looking for. Let's go one more just in case, just for S's and giggles. We're going to click one more. Now what's going to happen here is your edges start to get soft because that light starts to bleed around the subject, and it doesn't look good. So that's why we want to go back two stops. We're between a stop and a half to two stops is usually the perfect spot for that nice high-key photo. Shoot one more. Looking good. Again, nice sharp edges, well-exposed foreground, nicely exposed background. And yeah, I think that's it. So questions, comments, concerns, let's hear them. Greg Cazillo, Cazillo.com. Thanks, guys. Keep shooting. See you.